Okay, just wanted to do a quick update on the range breakout trades this morning. 2R reached. Really, if you've been paying attention to the market, you know on the short side, 5R was reached on everything. You can go down here and see all the targets reached. Gold hit its target. Russell hit its target. Everything just ES. There it was right there, 932, short the NQ, short the Russell, short the ES. And we see it played out over here, 2R. This already made money on the Russell. It put it back in play, and this is funky right here because it just turned bullish down at, where was it? Let's just go look at it. It turned bullish down here. If you made your money here, let's take a look. The ES, one ES contract on our rotations, on the VRB, and even on the VWAP, it's up $3,600. Let's look at the NASDAQ. Okay, it's up $4,800 on the short. If you held it, it hit as much as $9,100. So whoever hits the bottom, right? But just gives you an idea. I just mentioned that so you get an idea of how much potential was in that trade. We're waiting for Fed decision. I'm not doing anything. We're done for the day. The macro cycles, you can see it right there. We are still in bear mode on just about all equities. You know, are we entering a secular bear market? I don't know, but if I look at cycles, it doesn't look that bullish to me just yet. All right, so who knows what the catalyst will be, and depending on what the Fed does, depending on what goes on in Iran, you draw your own conclusions. But this is where these are why it's so important to have objective, probability-based signals, because you don't want to be guessing. Well, you never want to be guessing. There's always something going on. Right? Sometimes just a little bit more than others. Anyway, I digress. Let me go back to options. Guys, keep this in mind. Some of these methodologies say, well, by 10 o'clock, make sure you're in the trade. If I had sold a bull put spread on the 0 DTE down here, I'd have felt some real strong. My blood pressure would have been rising definitely. But if you take a look over here at 1027, that's when our first and well, here's about our first and worst trigger was, but we didn't hit it. 74.31. Yeah, we were quite a distance from. We were 10 points away from it. There's a 73.30 and a 73.10. We were flirting with it here, 73.35. I traded this one and I closed it. All right. Let's see what else. You got to like the 0 DTE modules in days like these, where you're not just looking at 25 short delta, 10 to 12 long deltas. You're waiting for more conditions than that to line up and really put you in statistically a higher probability trade. Look at this down here. So we sold bull put spreads, a bullish position down here at 12.05, and again at 12.10 gave us a trigger. So even if you would have taken it here, taking either of these three trades here, you're feeling a lot more comfortable. If you took it here, maybe 30% of your upside off the table already. But this thing is it's just made my life, I know it's made my life easier. It's made a few other 0 DTE traders' lives a lot easier. I'm really impressed with it. If you're an options trader, definitely check this out. Because the Greeks are the Greeks. You already know the Greeks, but when you combine them with what's going on in the outright, when you combine your Greeks with the futures contract, which didn't even trigger for us today, it came pretty darn close, but it didn't trigger for us with an additional alignment. I hate to use the word confirmation. If you can find a thing, if people use the word confirmation so loosely, I like to say, if you can find something that gives true confirmation, call Morgan Stanley, BlackRock. They'll pay you $50 million for it. Okay? There's no such thing. There's a probability, and anyway, in future videos, make sure you stick around, check in every now and then. There are some great spread opportunities, and we're really, really enjoying the output of these screen pairs. All right, so at the end of the day, you get all these pairs, give you probability of them, give you the correlation, the co-integration, and this morning after the close, we're also going to add some new symbols to it. Let me show you which ones. These over here, these and some. So we're going to add correlated ETFs to this menu here. So if you're more of an ETF trader or you like to trade options on ETFs, it doesn't matter. You're gonna it's all gonna show up over, where did I go? Here. Okay, so you're going to get even higher, more. Look, this is an Engel Granger with a greater than 90% confidence ranking, and you see the correlation over here. So you don't have to scan anything. All right. I mean, if you're comfortable with what we're using here, we're only using the S&P 500, the Nasdaq 100. So about 50 of those overlap. So right there's about 550 symbols, and then on the ETFs in total, they're going to be about 25 to 30 symbols, but they're going to be really good, high probability trades. It's going